Joanne Quinoa is a single mother of one. In her 20s, she left university to support her family, bouncing from one job to another, until 8 years ago, when she began taking on data annotation work. For years, this work mostly meant labeling elements in images.
You annotate maybe vehicles, trees, people, like everything that is on the road that is visible, including road signs, but not in our roads, in the roads of San Francisco.
Joanne tagged all sorts of content. These odd jobs came in around the clock. She was paid by the task, often just cents. Over time, the work became more and more sinister.
As time goes by, the content that you've exposed yourself to, now it starts to harm you. I did another project. These photos, they're not your ordinary photos. You have photos of naked women and people in the casinos, gamblings, and then now you had to categorize and put pornography or casinos.
Over time, the AI gets better at identifying inappropriate content, such as pornography, but the longer Joanne continued this work, the more she felt the strain.
There was violence, blood.
While pregnant, she sometimes worked 18 hours straight, until 3 in the morning, pushing herself to the brink.
They're experiencing anxiety after going to the therapist, and that is when maybe I learned that the content that I've been exposed to has affected me to a point that I did not even know.
We heard the same story from the dozen or so data workers we spoke to in Nairobi. As time went by, they were having to deal with ever more disturbing content. Nothing illustrated this better than what we heard from a woman we'll call Stacy. Stacy once dreamed of becoming a journalist, but after struggling to find her footing in the industry, she began working at a data annotation center, reviewing user-generated content on TikTok. She spoke with us under the condition of anonymity, having signed an NDA with her employer, a contractor of TikTok.
In an hour, we could do up to 200 videos. 7 out of 10 videos are graphic and violent. And yeah, that's what we deal with every day.
Stacy says her work has exposed her to harrowing scenes, like car accident victims lying in the street, or even people being burnt alive. One video left an impact like no other.
It was about a mother who had killed her baby. I think that one is the one which stuck in my head for a long time. There was a naked woman who was the mother. She had a child, and the mother was chopping the child into pieces.
She says that whenever she comes across harmful content, her instructions are to add 1 or more tags from a long list, ranging from human exploitation to suicide. She's convinced this work will ultimately help AI detect such content more quickly and reliably, ensuring it's taken offline before it reaches the public.
We see ourselves as heroes. We remove those things so that our children and people at home will have safe content for them to view.
But this comes at a high price.
It gave me nightmares. It's made me see human beings in a different light.
She says her employer allows her to see a therapist for 30 minutes once a month, but it's not enough to relieve the distress that comes with the job.
So the therapist will try to tell you to go to maybe YouTube or TikTok and look at funny videos. And they say, when you look at funny videos, it will take away those bad memories. But it didn't.
We meet a third data worker, whom we'll call Faith. She asked us not to reveal her face, fearing retaliation. In 2024, Faith began taking on tasks aimed at training large language models, without being told which specific AI chatbot she was working on. It started harmlessly, describing how to make tea or how to clean the house, but soon her tasks became more and more disturbing.
It tells you, explain to me, how does the flesh of a human taste like? Can you boil? Can you fry a human meat? I don't know. You have to explain how our body is mutilated. How can I kill? How can I remove the skin?
Even though Faith needed the salary to pay for her parents' medical bills, she couldn't take it anymore. She's convinced her job was to train the chatbot to give harmful instructions to users.
I was like, I'm out. If there are no more other projects that I can do that are not disturbing, then I'm out. If you have kids, that goes back to your child. I can't let my kids out right now. I can't. They can't sleep out even in their grandmother's house.
But an AI expert we spoke to says she was probably not training the chatbot to instruct people on cannibalism, but more likely trained AI to distinguish what information it can share. Faith says she found her freelance work through a Silicon Valley-based platform called Remotasks, a subsidiary of Scale AI, a company so successful its CEO Alexander Wang briefly became the world's youngest self-made billionaire. Scale AI declined to be interviewed. In an email, a spokesperson wrote that they have numerous safeguards in place, including the ability to opt out at any time. Other involved companies like Teleperformance or TikTok did not comment on the issue.
The company we are working for is making millions or billions that makes this person really rich. Are we being used to make people billionaires?
Kenya, it's not a dumping place. Yes, we might have economical issues and crises, but we are not stupid.
Why is it so hard for us to be recognized? Why is it so hard to be given for proper medical covers? Why is it hard for us to be maybe properly compensated and given good work conditions? If it is being done in other countries, then it should also be done in Kenya.